Hi everyone, welcome to another training and functionality preview stroke presentation on RMH. And today we are going to talk about setup and look at what are the setup options that we have in RMH back office. This is Mustafa Hussain, and I am the director of training and education at Retail RAM, and I'll be presenting today's functionality preview. So first thing first, the disclaimer. The software that I'm going to show you today is beta, and we can expect some issues, and the functionality that you're going to look at today may or may not be in the final release. Most of it will be there, but we may find some issues, and we may have to leave certain functionality out depending on what type of issues we have found. So keep that in mind. And all the functionality that you're looking at today is under NDA, so it's under non-disclosure agreement. So just standard stuff. So today we are going to look at setup. So let's go straight into the setup, and I'm going to go into the back office. So I'm going to go into RMH manager. So right now you can see that I'm using RMH back office version 1.3, and it does not have a login screen yet. So while recording, at the time of recording this video, we are still in beta, and therefore you will see that there are some stuff that are still not available. So just keep that in mind. And for setup, I can go directly into setup, but before I go into setup, there is another configuration that we need to do, which is kind of part of setting up the whole system as well. So this is configuration. So this will be the first kind of setup that you will be doing as far as installing and using RMH. So you will go in and set up your store address, the store details, the phone numbers, some ordering rules, so how you want the layaways and the deposit around layaways, the back orders, the work orders, and the quote. Certain inventory rules, so how you want the cost to be calculated. So the cost updated method is none, last updated, or weighted. Or you can also use the landed cost update. We also have price calculation on the POS, so use minimum price, use price level is exist, or prioritize in order of quantity, discount level, sale, and then buy down. So those are standard options that we have kept from RMS. We also have sales tax, so you can select whether your store is tax exclusive, so it is purely sales tax based system that you want to use, or a value added based, which is VAT based or tax inclusive system. We can also use some of the other tax rules based on around tax and customers. Then we have certain store rules. So again, these are kept from RMS. So these will be all the standard rules around POS, on items, on reason codes, and serial numbers. So these are the standard options. We have rounding rules, so wherever we need rounding rules. So in this screen, most of it is standard configuration, but you will also see some new tabs like rounding rules, unit of measure. So these are some of the new tabs that we have added because we have some new functionality in RMH, and the configuration for those sections or those functionality can be done on these screens. Like for example, advanced item setup, and some of these will be covered in more detail in some of the other videos that are going to be made available, or either already available, depending on when you're looking at this video. So all the options, for example, tender, so the default change tender, for example, can be cash, and the voucher expiration, and so on and so forth. If you want to save and close, you can click on save and close, and that configuration is then saved. So that's the first configuration that you need to do. Then the setup around all the different modules or all the different functionality can be done under the setup section. And what we have done is we have grouped all the section functionality wise. So if you go into merchandising, you have the label designer, reason codes. And again, some of these functionalities and some of these setup will be covered in more detail in other review videos that are specific for these functionalities. For example, if you go into people and security, you can set up cashiers. So this is the list of all the cashiers. And again, all the functionality has been carried over from your RMS database. So if you're upgrading from RMS, then you will see that all those options will be carried forward from your RMS system. Sales reps. So again, you can see the sales rep. This is also standard. Time clock, also standard. Password policy is new. So you can go in and set up your password policies for the POS. So password expires. So you can go in and set up how often the password expires. You can also go in and set up reminders. So you can go in and set up the reminders, for example, show reminders every day, for example. You also have a number of passwords to save. So it saves the previous password, so it prevents from reusing old passwords. And we can also do an account lockout. So use account lockout if a certain number of failed attempts are made to log in. And also the password complexity. So you can say minimum length is this, required uppercase, required numeric, and required special character. So all this will make the password strong for the POS. Then around inventory and purchasing, so the shipping methods. So these are some of the new functionality that we have added. And for example, the purchase order module that uses shipping carriers, payment terms, purchasers, charges, and custom fields. So all this can be set up under inventory purchasing section. Then we have financials, so everything to do with financial setup like item taxes. So this is again carried forward from RMS, so you will see that most of this functionality is exactly the same as RMS. So sales tax, we can use the sales tax option in there. Currencies, if you want to set up the currencies. Tender types, so again exactly the same as RMS, so nothing much to talk about here. And checks, again the same from RMS. Under customers, we have a whole section for account receivables. So under account receivables, we have account groups, account managers, and some of this functionality or account receivable functionality will be covered in the account receivable functionality review video. So check it out. So we have reason codes for account receivables, statement types, and so on and so forth. We also have some accounting defaults, so you can go in and set up some accounting defaults. So when you're creating new accounts, you don't have to select each and every field. Some of the fields will be automatically populated. Then under register, you have the list. Under hardware, you have the list of registers, again the same as RMS. So you have receipt printer 1, 2, all the hardware, plus you have the payment profile. So we have the payment profile for credit card integration. So if you're going to use any of the credit card integration in RMH, then you can set it up under payment profile. You have the poll display messages and the net display channels and the receipt format. So receipt format the same as RMS. And at the time of recording this, we do not have the properties, so you can see the property screen is grayed out, but it supports the standard RMS report, RMS receipt. So if you have any customized RMS receipt, you can just simply use that. Under miscellaneous, we have a number series. So if you want to set up any numbering for purchase orders or invoices and so on, you can go in and set up automatic numbering, and it will always use logical numbers. So number of digits in this case is 9 and the last use is 1000. So it will go ahead and create the next available digit. Under communication, we have the SMTP details, so your SMTP server. So wherever you require emails that needs to be sent out of RMH, it will be using these settings under miscellaneous communication. So you need to set up your SMTP server to send out emails using RMH. And under payment processing, so depending on whether you want to use credit card integration in RMH, you can go in and set up your payment profile. So again, this will be covered in detail in one of the other credit card integration functionality review videos. So check that out for more details about credit card integration. So those are the setup in RMH. So that was a quick overview of what kind of setup you have in RMH. So everything is in one place, grouped nicely and intuitively by functionality. So depending on what you need to change or what business rules you want to change, you can go into that particular section and start changing configuration around that functionality only. And one of the things you will notice is that this is RMH is standard functionality where it keeps the cards open, so you can do multitasking very easily. If you want to close the screens, you can close it from this small close icon at the top, and it closes the current open window. So that was setup. Thanks for watching this video, and keep an eye on some of the other videos around some of the other functionalities on RMH POS portal. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.